The Legend of Zelda franchise has been a revolution in the world of video games. Since its first appearance on Nintendo NES, it has been acclaimed for this title and its successors. Masterpieces such as A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, The Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, among many others until the definitive work, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was first announced during a Nintendo Direct in January 2013, and it was not until a year later at E3 of 2014 that game images were shown. From this point on, the video game was delayed several times until the announcement of the long-awaited Nintendo Switch console that would release this game. Since its launch, it has been very well received by critics, obtaining a 97 of 100 in the prestigious company Metacritic, sentencing a place for the franchise and Nintendo in the history of video games along with its successor, Ocarina of Time.
This video game is designed in a wonderful way, offering us a sadly cartoon aesthetic, but that helps with a spectacular setting and a landscape of a huge world full of content, having certain limitations by the console that do not being an impediment to enjoy the experience to the fullest. From the beginning of the development of this product, the developers claim that this sequel will break the traditional standards of the franchise, offering an open world with a dungeon design in which you had the possibility to do what you wanted, as you would like, and in the order that you prefer, offering a level of freedom like never seen before. You can say that the history of this title falls into a cliché, but in general, it is more than necessary to keep the community of fans happy. Not to mention that the game is designed to tell the story in a sublime way, that is in form of memories that will appear as cinematic as you explore the world, so you will understand more as you progress and complete progressively the story.
On the other hand, a part of the design and development of the game that critics like the most is the diversity of weapons that you can use within the game, each one having a very peculiar and curious way of using it, not to mention the incredible variety of enemies that you will find during your adventure and that will be a part of a very well designed difficulty curve. This game has reached where it is not because of what makes you do or what makes you look for, but because of what it makes you feel during the game experience. From a relaxing galloping along the beach with an incredible sunset and impressive ambient music to a battle full of tension in which your feelings are challenged and you try not to fall into despair. On the other hand, the way in which the game calls you to get out of your routine of life to continue with this phenomenal experience has managed to bring many players to a stability in their daily life. Video games are often related to the feeling of achievement and satisfactions. They give us an opportunity not only to experience a different reality that can impress us in a way only comparable to a child getting to know his environment, where curiosity is at its highest point and everything seems magical, but also it can bring little experience and challenges that can be solved there and then, in contrast with real life situations where things only can find a resolution given in long times of periods or not find a resolution at all.
Sometimes life can be full of uncertainty, Games like this entertain us in a way in which we can find a purpose or a goal in which we can focus on. Nowadays, the game industry has turned their vision into something more competitive. This has deformed into an experience that are not exactly enjoyable. Frustration and anger fill the environment, making something hostile, reducing in this way one of the biggest qualities that can make a game possibly relevant at a psychological level. But there are games like Breath of the Wild, a simple and beautiful way to remind us that games are still something that can bring peace and adventure on a personal and deep level. The best word to describe the whole experience is freedom, reaching a point in the game where you don't even want to complete it.
The only thing we have left to say about this title is that you should try it. Whether you like video games or not, it's an extraordinary experience that you should give a chance. Whether you borrow it or buy it, we assure you that you will not regret of doing it, and you will say with pride, I have played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.